Do not attempt to adjust the computer. There is nothing wrong. We have taken control as to bring you this special show. The Mothership flies in cyberspace one more time from the cosmic compound in a location so secret, if we told you, we'd have to kill you. We're non-violent. We want to have this the funnest show of your week. My name is Dobie Maxwell, also known as the King of Uranus. To your left and my right, the lovely and talented Greg DeGuire. If it's a conspiracy and he doesn't know it, it doesn't exist. To my left, to your right, it's Carrie Turner, the Millennial Falcon, freshly unbraced. How's that say? Your teeth look beautiful, but we're going to have a tinfoil hat or something because that was keeping the aliens out. The braces, the metal and the braces were good. So this is our cosmic pal, Al, from parts unknown. We have no idea why he's here.
Wasn't it a wrestler? He was from Parts Unknown, yeah.
The masked wrestler from Parts Unknown. He wears the mask. We don't know where he's from. We can't look at his underwear. We can't check his passport.
No.
Dr. X. Greg is going to be doing band names, and we wanted to talk. Again, if you're just joining us, we're thrilled that you are. We had our radio show on WLIP in Kenosha, Wisconsin for 5 years. We had an internet-based fan base all over the world. So if you're joining us, if you haven't seen the show before, we take a lot of topics and we talk about it and we go off on tangents. And people said, I like when you go off on tangents. So if you like that, you'll like our show, and we're glad you're here. If you want to contact us, Carrie, how do they do that?
We can go by emails, which we told in the previous video, and then we'll put in the links below.
You got to assume they're not watching the previous video. People are locked in a room
they
somewhere.
I mean,
you can reach us at alienxfile@wi.rr.com. You can also find us on Facebook under Gregory DeGuire, or you can find us on the Mothership Connection fan page. Those are probably the best ways.
And our website.
Our website, or leave a comment on the YouTube page.
One of the directions that we like to go occasionally is in the world of cryptozoology. If you don't know what that is, it's them weird critters. We don't know where they're from. We don't know where they live, but people have seen them. We don't know how much booze they've had in them or substances of illegal nature. We're talking about Bigfoot. We're talking about the Loch Ness Monster. We're talking about the Chupacabra. We're talking about any number of tribbles from other planets, other worlds.
I've got one of those.
They're so cute.
Tribbles? Yeah.
I do have a tribble upstairs, yeah.
But now, they're so funny. There's a stand-up comedy booker, and his name is David Tribble, and he's a famous guy, and he says, enough with the Star Trek jokes.
I'm sure he's heard them all.
He doesn't watch the show, and I heard Obi-Wan Kenobi my entire life. And I thought, okay, the movies went away, and then they came back, so my adult life was tortured just as much as my childhood, too.
Now, speaking of which, I've got a cryptozoology creature right here.
Uh-oh, our third mascot.
This is Django. This is his bot.
Django's bottom.
That's a good band
He is half Django's butt. He is part Maine Coon, part long hair, part monkey, part mop. So I'm not sure where that puts him in the range of crypto, but
you know, I'm going to school for zoology, and I think I should change it to cryptozoology now. Might as well.
I think now, Greg, cats were part of ancient Egypt, the ancient Egyptian culture, very much. Were dogs.
Of course. Well, one of the main Egyptian gods was Anubis. He had a human body and a dog's head. So animals were very revered back in the ancient Egypt. Very revered. Sacred, even today. India, cows are sacred. I mean, there's lots of animals that have been sacred all throughout history.
They're sacred to me because they're delicious.
One of my favorite shirts, I'm sure this one will get us in trouble, is PETA. But the shirt said, PETA, people eating tasty animals. I'm sorry, that's a funny shirt. It's a very funny shirt.
That is pretty funny.
So,
sacred cows make the best hamburgers. That's also another way. That's a
sacred
book title. No, that's a book title, and I can't take claim to that. My cousin bought it off him. Oh, that's brilliant. He said, oh, it's a title of a self-help book. Sacred cows make the best hamburgers. Yeah, awesome.
Don't mind me.
Those who Greg's flipping through, he come up with a saying that's a twist of a phrase that is a band name, potential band name. We got a whole book of them here. So if you are a band looking for a name,
there we go.
Get in context for this. We will rent with the option to buy.
Sacred hamburger.
And doo-doo butters are already taken, right?
How did that one come about? I don't remember that.
That was one of yours.
It was?
Yep.
Okay, I often say things I don't recall, so you got to write it down. So getting back to cryptozoology again. Now, do you have any experience with this?
From what I've read in books, TV, movies, but I mean, I'm excited to learn.
No, but I'm saying, is that something that you actively pursue? Like when I was a kid, you saw that picture of the Loch Ness Monster sticking his head out, and it was just constant. That you said, but this was before the internet, so I'm like,
How popular was Bigfoot back in the day?
Oh, big. Oh,
In its prime?
Andre the Giant, the wrestler, played Bigfoot on the $6 Million Man, and that's
Is that who that was?
It was Andre the Giant.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. I never knew that.
Boy, you know everything.
Huh.
I've given up. Our show is done. The master doesn't know.
Well, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That was my favorite
Who else are they going to get?
episode of $6 Million Man. Every time there was a Sasquatch episode, glued to the TV. I couldn't keep my eyes
it was
off.
just basically a wig glued to the guy's fanny. You know, it was an ape suit, and they're running around it. But they always get a little picture, a fuzzy picture somewhere in the woods. They never find a turd, a toenail, a remnant, a passport, nothing. So, and then rumor has it they are the grunts for the aliens. They come on the ships. This is the rumor. They come out and they run, not surveillance, what am I talking about? Scouts, kind of, they look out scout, and they get back on the ship. That's why you don't see anything from them. And I don't know if that's true or not. It's an interesting theory. Maybe somebody made it up over beers. What do you think?
Well, two parts of Bigfoot that made it really popular was the famous footprints by the Yeti in Asia. Oh, what was the name of the mountain climber who found these prints?
Someday my prince will come.
Was it Edmund Hillary or?
Sir Edmund Hillary found him? Don't know that.
Well, I could be wrong on that one. Anywho, somewhere up in Asia, somebody found footprints, and that's how the modern day Yeti was born. So no one had taken photographs of this before, got pictures, brought it to the States, and was like, wow, what is that?
And Yeti, same name as Sasquatch, and some places call it the skunk ape.
Skunk ape, that's my favorite one.
Which
Oh,
is the blind date that I had a couple weeks ago.
my other favorite name for Bigfoot is called Wood Booger.
Wood Booger.
It's my
Write that down. There's your band right there.
Wood
A little
Booger.
rockabilly, kind of a reggae rockabilly band. Here's Wood Booger opening up for Bob Marley.
The
Wood
boogers.
Booger is there.
That's going to have a number in it, the Wood Booger 6. You know?
We call it the Wood
Just
Booger
6
6.
Yetis up on
Six.
stage.
Exactly right. And he's Sasquatch Yeti.
Yeah.
And his sister Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Yes.
Then there was the famous Patterson film in California. That was the famous one where he's walking, or she's walking, and does the turn, and they get the thing, and that put Big Feet on the map in the States in the
Now,
60s.
there was one I saw in a video on YouTube where somebody admitted that was a hoax, but that could be a hoax too.
That film has been under the microscope for years, and they have yet to be able to debunk it. They've even gone so far as to bring this film to Hollywood, given the year that it was taken. Who had the best costume industry that could have put this costume together? Because it wasn't just a simple gorilla suit. This was way beyond that. So who could have done this? So the guy who could have done it was the guy who did the Planet of the Apes. He also did Chewbacca's costume. Same guy. He wasn't available at that point in time. These suits weren't made back then. Nobody, doesn't mean that it didn't happen, but nobody in Hollywood had this put together just yet. Doesn't mean it wasn't a hoax, but the big ones who did this didn't have it. They didn't do it. So that film is always of high interest to me, and that place is now, it's a sacred site for cryptozoology. Everyone wants to go there to pay their homage to see this, where they filmed this video. And it is not easy to get to it. It's down in the valley. There's more overgrowth since then. I mean, it is not an easy hike to get to that point. There was a movie called Willow Creek, and it was like a handycam type film where this couple, they wanted to do the same thing. They went all around this town of California. It's like Bigfoot town because the town is closest to where the sighting was. So where the Patterson film was, this town there's Bigfoot everywhere. So they go in the valley and they run across Bigfoot and they get eaten, and it's a really good movie. Bobcat Goldthwait directed that film of oddities.
Interesting. Now another one that's always interested me is the Chupacabra, which is the it's a
goat sucker.
Goat sucker. Yeah, exactly right. Now that is very popular in the Hispanic community, and people swear that it's real. Yes.
Now I remember.
Yeah, and it kind of flies. It looks like almost a gargoyle.
Yeah, some say it's almost like a dog with mange gone sour. It's like a hairless dog with fangs, all kind of stuff. The closest thing to what a chupacabra may or may not have looked like. Oh, what's the name of the
Marilyn Manson?
No, the island.
The island.
I'm really losing my touch here.
Gilligan's Island.
No, there's an island on the East Coast.
East Coast.
In the movie Silence of the Lambs, they're going to put Hannibal like Plum Island. Plum Island.
Okay.
Plum Island had all these. So I needed for Plum Island had all these ridiculous experimentations. So it was off the coast of New England, off of Plum Island, where they found this creature. It looked like a dog. You can find this online. Look up Plum Island. You're going to see all manner of weirdness. So they found this thing on the beach, and this wasn't made up. This wasn't put together. This was a creature. They figured it must have got off Plum Island and floated to shore, and everyone, what the hell is this? Because they did experimentations there. Mm-hmm. And ironically enough, in the movie Silence of the Lambs, that's where Dr. Lecter, had he been pardoned or whatever, that's where he was going to spend his time, because it was in the middle of nowhere. It's on an island, and he can't go anywhere.
Do you think Hannibal Lecter would have eaten the chupacabra?
I'm sure he would have.
Put it right on the grill
with fava beans.
Now, Mothman. There's another cryptozoology.
The Mothman prophecies. This is a good one.
No.
Oh, listen up.
This goes back to the legend of Chief Cornstalk. Gather around the wood, kids. It's time for a story. Chief Cornstalk. Now, I want to say this was near Pittsburgh?
Somewhere in northeastern quadrant of the United States.
Pennsylvania, West Virginia-ish. It's really becoming an ish. Anywho, Cornstalk put a curse on the land. I curse this land. Bad luck, the whole thing. So fast forward. I think it was outside of Pennsylvania. They have these Mothman sightings. And they got the name Mothman from the 60s Batman TV show. There was a guy in a brown batsuit called the Mothman. And they didn't know how else to describe it because it looked like that with giant red eyes. So a lot of this happened during, it happened
Key term, giant red eyes.
Giant red eyes.
He was probably drinking.
People kept seeing giant red eyes, backwards and forwards, couldn't put this stuff together. But every time they saw these red eyes, bad things happened. Bad juju with the red eyes.
Yeah.
So this is the first appearance of the proposed Men in Black. These guys in dark suits and black Cadillacs showed up questioning the town, tried to find out what was going on, but these guys didn't speak English. They were bald. They were weird. No one knew. They couldn't follow them. They didn't know what happened. Weirdness followed the red eyes. But these happen around abandoned, like dynamite factories, weird factories that went under years prior. So teen kids making out in their cars see these red eyes. They flip out. Some guy in his house sees the red eyes outside by his dog. Dog's barking, goes outside, sees the red eyes, freaks out. Some people started receiving visions, psychic visions of things to come. Sorry, something's loose in the castle.
Maybe it's Mothman.
Might be Mothman.
Maybe the Chupacabra.
Got visions of things to come.
Andre the Giant.
A vision of Andre the Giant in a costume. Yeah. One person in particular saw a river with presents, like gifts, wrapped gifts in a river. Couldn't figure out. I just see a river with. They sent investigative reporters to talk to these people. And she told the reporter, Richard Gere played him in the Mothman Prophecies movie. They talk a little bit about this. It's a decent film. Rivers, I could just see, and then the same lady, weeks later, there's bodies in the river, there's cars in the river. I can't explain what I'm seeing. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Fast forward a few months later, was it the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve? This was the biggest bridge collapse in the history of the United States thus far. There was a giant bridge between two towns that simply collapsed. And what fell in the river? Cars with wrapped gifts and people. Her vision came to life.
Wow.
And then Mothman disappeared after that. No one knows what happened. But that goes back to Chief Cornstalk, who used to own that land. It was his real name. Cursed it, and ever since then, lots of weirdness has been happening around that particular circumstance. I've got all the notes for this. At some point in time,
we will have
all
guests,
my old notes.
If you're just watching, we're just kind of touching for the first few episodes to kind of suck in our audience, rekindle the flame.
Yes.
We'll talk to experts. So, if the subject that we talk about grabs you in any way, contact us and we'll dig a little bit deeper. We'll pop the clutch and go into top gears.
Real quick on the Mothman, a lot of people confuse that with the New Jersey Devil, too.
Correct.
The New Jersey Devil, the New Jersey Devil is a fun one. Anyone who's ever watched the X-Files, in the first season, they did an episode on the New Jersey Devil. Just yet again another giant owl bat type thing that nobody ever seems to be able to find or look at, but has his yellow eyes and just whatever. Anytime somebody sees it, bad luck's to follow. Cryptozoology.
That is cool.
Well, it is fun but there's never a nice big cuddly teddy bear.
No.
Casper the Friendly Ghost of course.
No.
They're all nasty with teeth and red eyes, blood, and
doom follows wherever they go.
Doom, and they suck your
on you.
soul and eat your bones and take your credit card and they rip your new pants. That's never good.
No. Yeah, those are, and then of course the granddaddy of them all, Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, and rumor has it that people have seen that and just don't. The government of Scotland, I have heard, does not want that out.
No, and again, the official reports is that is a leftover plesiosaurus from the age of the dinosaurs with the flippers. It's like a brontosaurus with flippers, more or less is what the thing looks like. But underneath the Loch Ness, it's a really bizarre. It's a deep, deep, deep lake and there's channels underneath it that lead out to other waterways. So it's possible that something like that could have existed. Maybe on the improbable, but it's possible something like could exist.
It has to have something to eat, though, for all those years. Seriously.
Plankton. I don't know what else grows.
Plankton.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't have, for an animal that size,
right?
You got to have a big supply of fish, cheeseburgers, or whatever you have. Fish and chips, whatever they have in Scotland, they got to have it.
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash, got to have it. It's
haggis.
Ugh.
Do you know what
Poor
haggis
lot.
is? Tell Carrie what it is.
Isn't it sheep stomach?
Sheep stomach with, it's disgusting. But apparently they ate it. And that's why Scotch whiskey was invented, to wash down the haggis. Now, let's talk about unicorns. That's technically a cryptozoology.
Yep.
It's fantasy character or
a
creature.
Most of these things got, where there's smoke, there's fire. So maybe somebody saw something, couldn't quite identify what it was, and that's how the legend starts. So maybe somebody way back when saw like an elk with a half a horn or something, and for the first time saw some other kind of creature, some kind of large
some sort of
deer.
like narwhal and horse hybrid or something.
Interesting, narhorse.
Yeah.
Well,
horse wall.
It's lonely out there. The horses get a little.
They go up.
But anytime.
Horsehormones.com.
Even so, if they don't know what it is, they're going to come up with, "Ooh, it was a horse with a lone horn," says me, and then the legend of the unicorn prevails.
Says my 19 shots of whiskey.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's another fun one. On the topic of that, I was watching a show on the History Channel about, I believe it was about Bigfoot, and always, here's who you never see interviewed. Prestigious doctor. Yes, I have an MD and 2 master's degrees, and I happen to see a large furry beast standing in the middle of the road. I got him with my camera phone. I got him. I've got an etching. I got his phone number. We're going to have a meeting with him. That never happens. Who do you always see being interviewed that saw Bigfoot? Bubba. Good old Bubba.
Same thing with UFOs.
Yeah.
Jay Leno used to do a bit about that. Yeah. Calvin and his cousin Weenie are out fishing somewhere, and then you see the. Yeah.
So these people are interviewing Uncle Bubba and cousin Buford, and they're asking them, Bubba, Buford. I'm making their names up.
B&B.
Can you remember? I think I talked about this on the show before. Can you describe what was it like outside when you saw the creature? I tell you what, it were dark outside. It was so dark. It was darker than a black cow's ass on a moonless prairie night. They paint a picture. It's dark outside. I get it.
Dark.
Was there crickets? What happened? Was there birds? I mean, what happens at nighttime around here? Could you have confused it with any of that? No, man. It were quiet. It were so quiet you could hear skunk piss on cotton. So you're saying it was quiet outside. The pictures that they paint. And by they, I mean Bubba and Buford drinking moonshine back in the deep, way back in the holler.
Now, has there ever been any proof of any kind of cryptozoological animal? Anything? Do we have a toenail? Do we have a skeleton?
No, I can help answer some of these.
No, I would say this. They have the one of the pointed head skull people. That's kind of a crypto.
Oh, those are weird ones.
Yeah, there's skeletons. Yeah,
I think they're in Germany.
Here's another. If you're joining us, Lloyd Pye. He was a guest. He's passed away now. Rest his soul. He was on the Mothership, and he agreed to be on there. And he talked about it. And if we can get that from WLIP, I want to put it back up there. There are skulls that they have found, which are about 3 feet, almost like a child, and the skulls are pointed, like the cone heads from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I've seen these.
Ooh.
Fascinating stuff. Yeah.
And the skulls the bones are thicker than us. They're a lot more ivory-ish.
Yeah, it's weird stuff.
Very weird. Yeah.
Yeah, there's weird things afoot out there.
Yeah.
Strange things are afoot at the old Circle K.
Yeah. So you wonder.
I do wonder. I wonder a lot.
The first thing I always wonder is, how would a Bigfoot taste on the grill? Yeah.
Well, part of the reason why. All right, now one of the biggest Bigfoot experts around is a fellow by the name of Dr. Jeff Meldrum. He's on all these Bigfoot specials. He has one of the largest collections of footprints, and he can narrow it down to where, okay, this footprint is an ape, this footprint's more human, probably not. He's got it all. He's on. If there's a Bigfoot show, they always spend 5 minutes with Dr. Meldrum.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jeff, what do you think about that? Well. And he's a professor in Boise State in Idaho. I mean, he's legit. He's the real deal.
I don't know, but professor, you're at a little bigger college than that. You're at Welding Academy.
Well,
you're at Barber College in
Idaho is where the action is out west, I suppose.
Well, a lot of it is, yeah.
But now there was another show. Now the name of the show is escaping me, but there was a search show. It's like, well, here's the rumor. Let's go get it. Let's go find out. Josh something or other. Anywho, it'll come back to me. Anyways, they went to Asia. They went to Mongolia to look for a Yeti, and they got fur. They found fur, and they brought it back to the States, had it analyzed, and it's unknown. It doesn't register with anything they have. But Josh Gates, that was the fellow's name. Josh Gates, if you're watching, and I hope you are, I used to love your show. The name of it escapes me, but it was on Sci-Fi for a good long while. They would go after all these cryptozoology things to figure out hows, whys, and weatherfores. Where did the rumors start? Who's got anything by it? Is there footage of it? Let's debunk it. Let's find it. Let's tie it up. Let's barbecue and eat it to make sure that the thing exists. They got hair that's unexplained hair. I always thought that was fascinating. So, wow, they actually got something. I can't remember the name of the show. Josh Gates still does shows like that out there.
Kind of like a St. Baldrick's thing for aliens.
Right.
When you shave your head for the kids with cancer.
Right.
Which I would totally do.
Bald big feet for cancer.
Bald big feet, yes.
But now, the thing with finding carcasses is, hunters will tell you this. You're out walking in the woods. How many deer do you think are out in the woods? So you're going to pick an acre of land to go hunt on that you know is loaded for bear with deer. You never see them. The sons of bitches are elusive. They're deer dumber than a bag of hammers. Also, they probably die. Well, all right, they have some smarts, but not that much. They're elusive. They have the instincts.
They could lose man.
Right. But a lot of them probably die of natural causes. Same thing. They twist their ankle, falls over, dies. A coyote eats half of it. Where do the bones go? Well, there's got to be a low ton of deer bones out in the woods. I've never seen it. Why? Because it erodes too fast. So if there was
fast, 24 hours.
Pretty fast.
Really?
They had a time-elapsed camera, so the animal dies, the coyotes get after it. Whatever comes left, the bugs get it, eat everything off, and then the bones just disappear because the growth from the trees, it's acidic and disperses the bones, turns into ground soil, boom, bada bing, over and done with. And that happens within a week's time. So that's pretty quick. And not within days, but a week's time is pretty quick.
That is pretty quick.
So that's why you don't find anything out in the woods, because it erodes way too fast. So to say, well, if there's Bigfoot, how come no one ever seen a Bigfoot skull? Okay, well, have you ever seen a deer skull? No. Well, we know deer exist.
I've seen a deer head with the antlers on the
Well,
wall.
There's that, yeah. That's what we need, a Bigfoot
Taxidermist.
Bigfoot taxidermist.
I
like
claim that one.
Yeah.
Big old 9-foot Bigfoot in your yard. That'd be kind of,
You just mount it on your wall, and they're like, "Oh,
right.
what's that?"
That's my
Let me tell
Sasquatch.
you.
Bigfoot taxidermy. That's the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
Okay, the clock on the wall, so we have a few more minutes, and this is the fascinating.
Yeah, now,
It's
and I
so
apologize for not remembering things, but I haven't dove into this stuff. Well, we've been in limbo for what, 4 years?
Dormant, like
We've
kind
been
of like Han
dormant,
Solo.
so yeah. I'm actually surprised a lot's popping at me, and I haven't studied this. I mean, I've been at work all day.
You guys have met a lot of people through
Yeah.
the show from what you're just saying. And
We will
who
meet
you
a
wanna
lot
get
more
on.
too, and you will come along and be fascinated. It's just
So
as we were.
excited.
Because within any topic today, but before we go, I would like to play a little game of Cosmic Pickers. If you watch the show American Pickers, the guys are out there looking for doodads, trinkets, baubles, knickknacks, paddywhacks, give the dog a bone, souvenirs. What I like to do when I'm out hunting thrift stores or rummage sales, is pick something up for Greg that he may or may not have. But what I have this week, I got some cards here from the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back cards from Burger King from 1977 and 1980.
Wow.
Now, I knew there were cards that you go, like baseball cards with the gum that you get at the store. I had never seen these before, so I picked them up for you at an antique shop in Illinois.
Now, I haven't seen these for a while, but yes, when we're done filming here, I'll show you.
You have a collection of those?
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
these are difficult to find. Yeah, you know, Colonel Potter had another name for knickknacks and doodads. He called it cockorock.
Cockorock.
Bric-a-brac and cockorock.
Cockorock. Baubles, trinkets. Yeah.
Sorry, one of my favorite TV shows is MASH, and Colonel Potter isms always make me giggle.
What made that show so popular? Because it got to the point where it was too slick at the end, for my taste. They would throw out a word and it was just joke, and I get that, but real people don't speak like that.
No. I wish somebody spoke like Colonel Potter nowadays. I'd be laughing hilariously, but he was kind of a mean character. I don't know how he was in reality, but his character yelled an awful lot, and I'm not sure he could deal with that. But, yeah.
So if you have any objects that you would like Greg to, the souvenirs.
OJ darts.
OJ darts. A white Bronco for sale, whatever you'd happen to have. We are the Mothership Connection. We're delighted to hear there are noises coming from the computer that we don't want to have.
It's all right.
This is Kerry Turner over here. Greg DeGuire's here. My name is Toby Maxwell. Join us online. Following episodes to come. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.